Hello people! Today we're doing a set I'm calling Sheer Black Elegance. Now these have been on my to-do list for a good while and I hadn't gotten around to it because I didn't have sheer black yet. And on the occasion where I've tried mixing my own, it comes out kind of streaky and I wasn't happy with it. So I finally broke down and bought a bottle of that polish, along with this one, which is just black. This is the sheer black, and actually I'm using all Model 1s today for a change. We have all the same brand. Okay, this is coat number 1. You can barely tell that there's anything on there. I had seen these done, this type of nail done, and I really thought they were pretty, and I wanted to do them. Now originally I wanted to have the design I'm putting on here to be shiny and the background all be matte, which was another reason I was putting them off. Okay, this is coat number 2 now, going on all of them. I was putting it off because I couldn't figure out a way to get all of the background to be matte and the design to be shiny other than to go over the design with top coat when I was done, and I was trying to avoid that. So I kept putting it off. Well, finally I just decided the heck with it. It's all going to be matted. So I got the sheer black and we're going in with that now. I'm going to cure it. And we're going in with coat number 3. Now I did 3 coats of this. I'm kind of wishing I had stopped at 2, because when I put the top coat on at the end, it got a lot darker than it looked initially to me. So if you guys are going to do this and you happen to use these same products, I would just do 2 coats instead of 3 like I'm doing. And we will get that cured and move on to the next step. Now also, most people can probably paint these kind of designs, but these Baroque kind of curly Q things, my painting skills are not good enough to do those and have them look nice yet. So I'm going to stamp them. And this particular stamping plate I bought exactly for this reason, for this set of nails. And there's been other times where I've wanted to have these done in white on designs, and I didn't. I'm not capable of painting those either. So I will probably be using this one on several occasions. This is my second go around at this first stamping. The first time I dropped the stamper and had a big mess there, but you guys didn't need to see that. I'll clean off any excess of stuff I don't want on there. And on the pinky nails, what I'm starting with, I'm just going to have one thing here at the top. Well, they're all going to just have one thing at the top, although on some of these I've used more than one design to make a bigger pattern of stuff at the top of the nail. I am using regular stamping polish for these, not gel, so you've got to work rather quickly because it will dry in a hurry. Okay, I believe on this one, I think I put a second one on there with that one. And once again, we'll just try to clean off anything we don't want. And unfortunately, you guys are not getting to see where it's stamping on very well because I was out of shot. And we're going to do another little bit on there. I'm not sure if I've moved on to the thumb or not, but I know the thumb had multiple designs put on there. As I wanted a bigger bulk of this design at the top, and none of these were big enough. Okay, definitely got to be working on the thumb by now. There's an awful lot as I'm looking at that stamping plate of those chain designs, which I have never ever used. Maybe I'll have to try that with something. Maybe do them in silver or gold down a black nail or something. Might be kind of pretty. Alright, now we're definitely onto the thumb. And I have one little more one on the side of it. And then we can move on to the next step. As this is regular polish, we do not need to cure it. It will dry on its own, which it already probably is, as it dries so fast that, you know, especially after you've scraped it so it's super thin on the stamper, it dries really quick. So that's why you can't dilly-dally. You got to work with haste with these. Or you could also, some people put a base coat on their nails so they have that tacky layer for the stamps to stick on. Well, that one pulled it right off of the nail stand. But there's a shot of it. You can see what it looks like now for a change, since the other ones. So here we are with where we are so far. Now I'm going to clean that up. Moving on, black gel paint. Now I wanted this to look like dotted Swiss on the sheer part of it. So I'm just going to use my dotting tool, and I'm going to start off with a line of dots straight down the middle. Okay, that one's not real straight. Theoretically, they should be going in a straight line down the middle, and then I'll go back and add the side ones on, like in between where the other ones are. Up the nail as far as to where the design is going to start, the design at the top. And on the side ones, I'm going in between where the first set of them is, trying to keep them even with the ones that I already did. Okay, and there we go. Oh, wait, I decided we needed one more on that top bit. I was going to put one in between there on the top and decided against it. Okay, moving on. I'm going to show you one more, and then I'll do the rest off camera. They're all the same. Just a line right down the center. And then the sides. Trying to keep all my dots of a uniform size. And also not to slop strings from where it pulls away onto the rest of the nail. Okay, once I get all those on as they are now, we're going to cure that. That's what we have so far, and we're going to cure those right now. Okay, now I have put some of that black gel paint on my palette and got my striper brush. And I am going to just make a very thin line around the edge of these nails to outline them. They just felt a little unfinished right there, so I thought that this would finish them off nicely. And I was quite happy that using the striper brush instead of my detailer brush, I'm able to get much thinner lines now, which I've been very happy about. I think that's going to pay off for me when the next time I do a character nail set. I'll be able to do much thinner outlines, I think. I think my black gel paint is getting a little bit dried out. It doesn't have that much of it left in the pot, and it's kind of thick, like thicker than normal. I think a lot of that happens because if I'm working with stuff in that the paint pot, it's sitting there with the lid off on my desk while the desk lamp is on, and that's probably curing it up somewhat. I seem to be having that issue with a lot of things lately when I wasn't before, so I don't know really what changed, but we'll just have to make it work. I was pretty pleased with myself for getting nice thin lines on these edges too. Usually they're kind of chunky and a little bit wonky. I think the striper brush helped me a lot with that too, as I could just lay it down the side edge and run it across there without moving anything. That really helps a lot. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys almost didn't get this video this week because stupid Edison turned off all the power in our area because of the high winds here in SoCal. It's causing all these fires. So they turned our power off yesterday. So yesterday morning, so we had no power for 28 hours. And believe you me, that was the longest 28 hours of my damn life. I mean, I couldn't do my video. We had no TV. No, I couldn't do anything with my phone because I had no way to charge it. So it was miserable. I spent the entire day yesterday reading, which normally I like doing, but not in that long of a stretch at one time. And the bulk of this morning I was reading until I got to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. Then I played solitaire for a brief while, and finally the power came back on. It was miserable. Needless to say, I went to bed super early last night because once it got dark, we really couldn't do anything. Okay, here we go. I've done all the rest of those. And we're going to be top coating now with the matte top. Now, I did later on notice an issue with the thumbnail. Okay, I put the top coat on now, as you see me doing, and then I'm going to go do all the other ones. Well, when I started to look at the thumbnail, it looked like it had either a hair or there was something making it look a little weird. So I brushed over it again, and then it smeared my stamping polish a little. Now, normally, I don't have any issues with the stamping polish smearing, but I don't normally go over it again either like that. So I think since the top coat sat there on it, it softened it up again. And as I went over that thumbnail again at the end, that's when it smeared. But normally, if you just go over them, you know, the one time, I've never had problems with my stamping polish smearing like that. But this time it did, and like an idiot, I just kept going over and over it, trying to smooth it out, which caused the problem. So if you look at it right now, it looks perfectly fine, but I'm about to ruin it right here. I went in with more polish, trying to get it to look smooth at this bottom part. Now, if I hadn't kept brushing over that top part, it would have been fine, but I did, and now it's smeared. See, it's smeary now. But live and learn. Okay, those are cured. We got one thing left to do, and that's to put the gems or embellishments on the ring finger. Now what I'm going to do is put this teardrop one on, and then I'm going to cure it first so I have a solid form there in the middle and it's not going to keep moving around on me. This part's going to be a little hard for you guys to see because we're doing black on black here and it's going to be hard to show up. But once I get this lined up where I want it exactly, and I'm going to look at the nail from different angles to make sure it is centered where I want it, then I will cure that. And it's going to go, and we're going to now go in with those black crystals. As soon as we glue up this mess. Now I was having a hard time seeing these too as I was putting them on here. Some of them got like up on their side edge and were like glued to the side of that center teardrop one instead of laying flat on the nail, so I had to kind of go back in and straighten them out towards the end of here. You'll see when we get that far. I mean, maybe you won't see because it's kind of hard to see, but on top of which I had mostly only the same size of crystals, and I was trying to find two that were slightly bigger, slightly smaller than the one I started with at the top, but bigger than the little ones I was going to outline it with. I think there we go. We got two the same now. Okay, once I've got those three on there at the top, I'm just going to use all these small ones to go around the outside edge and line those up. It's kind of hard to see, as I said. I think those might be the ones that got shoved up on their side edge up against the side of the crystal in the middle. And I use these slightly smaller ones for the very bottom three, and at the one at the tip. And there's a big hair on my thing. Okay, and we're using these. Now, I was calling these black caviar beads, but they're really more like a gunmetal color. We'll get ourselves all glued up here again, and then we'll go ahead and get these on. Now, I started off with my brush as I usually like to do, and it just was not working for me today again. I think I need to give it another cleaning and get the dried glue out of it. This was day 2 of the nails, in case you're wondering why I don't have gloves on suddenly. If I'm getting to the second day and all I need to do is put embellishments on there and do a top coat, which is what the case was, then I don't bother to put gloves on because I don't want to waste them for the little bit of time it's going to take me to do this. Because as you guys all know, that if you are somebody else that uses gloves, the suckers ain't cheap. Between the nail stuff and working with resin, I've been going through gloves like nobody's business. I was having kind of trouble seeing where the in-between of the crystals was too, because everything being so dark. Once I got these caviar beads on, though, it did help to show me where stuff was better. Okay, now we just need to tuck them all in nicely, and we'll be ready to cure this. Okay, and in we go for curing. And our final top on this one, just to go over the gluey mess that I've created. Get rid of any shiny stuff so we're all nice and matte again. Plus it will help to hold those caviar beads on there. And we'll give that a final cure, and then we'll be done. There we are. There's our finished set. If you like them, please give me a like. I really appreciate it. I like them. I think they came out pretty. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I upload a new one every Saturday, permitting that I have power to work with here. Also, I have finally got this stuff together for the giveaway, so watch out for that. That's happening really soon now. That's it for now. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.